What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kinda Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Why are you laughing at me?
I want you to know I legitimately like fucking PTSD about the fuck.
I know.
I never know. Wait, when I go, what's up? It's either or there's nothing, and then I brace for it later. But then sometimes
Like, why did they not go
I'm
there?
just bracing the entire fucking show.
I'm right there with you, Greg. We're like, I'm more stressed out that they didn't happen.
What?
Because at any moment they might just
She
strike.
just goes, God, shrapnel everywhere, fog everywhere.
You guys have a lot of stress in your life.
I just got you.
The amount of shows we're hosting, like that. There we
I
go.
got out
There we
of,
go.
I was fine with it, like it never like super threw me, but I got in the, the rhythm of it. But then it was like some people, ease off and don't do it. Some people do it. It's just like,
I'm with you.
Oh my God, I'm glad we're over that hump though, Nick. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you, Greg?
I'm excellent. This is a great shirt you have on. I like it.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite hoodies now. It's from a cool show that I watch.
Oh, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Brought to them by you.
That's right.
There you go. That took a while.
I got
Took a
there.
second.
You got there. You
Yeah,
got
this
there
is
at
fun.
the end. This is fun.
Fun logo.
Over there, he is Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the New York Times quoted
Thank you.
at Tim Geddes.
Let Tim host.
New
This
York
weekend, I watched the Pete Davidson show that I keep telling
Oh,
everybody
Bumpkiss.
about. Bumpkiss.
Bumpkiss.
Super fun watch. But
Is it
even
a show
more,
or a movie?
it's a show. It's a like 8-10 episode, 20-minute sitcom thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a fun time. Really dark in some places. But after watching that, I went just to the Peacock homepage because it's a Peacock show.
Yeah.
And on that homepage, they're pushing a whole bunch of things. The new series or new season of Real Housewives of OC. We had some other stuff, and then boom, this is awesome. Not your picture though.
Number one show
I don't like
Peacock.
when they don't use your picture on it.
Sure, they
Yeah.
it's one of those, we didn't get those professional shots done until the show launched. That's what fucked us.
Yeah.
Because they have gone back and since done a insert of Greg, that poster they get sent to my house or whatever, and I put up. But like, since that wasn't done, you're never gonna fix that key art.
Yeah.
Basically, I need the Undertaker to murder somebody, and then they'd remove him, and they'd then be like, "Oh, we should put Greg in it."
Fingers crossed.
And rounding out the quartet, she's the one, the only. Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Jamie Kennedy.
Thank you, Greg.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's your visit going here in San Francisco?
Pretty nice.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I like
have
to
no
hear.
complaints about it.
I want you to know that my mom watches this show, and every time you're on it, I get a call.
Well, when your mom's in town, don't you bring her on the show?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Absolutely not. She's a loose cannon.
There's a moment on an old an old stream where we were many drinks in, many hours in, but I, in the back, had been working with getting his mom's phone number and got it.
Uh-huh.
And he's in, Johnny Ace was there, I guess. Is the
Oh,
real
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Johnny Ace and Nick Scarpino are two very different people, but it's the closest Johnny's ever come to actually becoming Nick,
Uh-huh.
where you can see the Ace Man panic. And we've never seen the Ace Man panic before. And Tim's face is what I,
I
always
love your
remember.
mom. Yeah.
Because it was way too real.
Like, cross the line. But that's the thing, man. Yeah.
Nick wasn't there,
there's-
and when he did come back to the office, he was fine with it.
But the thing about mothers is like there's an intensity. I love the shirt. I love the
Thank you, the
the
mom.
mom shirt. It's
Yep.
perfect.
I looked
It's
at her in the
perfect.
car today. I'm like, I sent that to you, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And she's like, I have no. What's it even from? I was like, oh, well, Becky Lynch was the man, and then they did the. Man, look at this.
Mom.
3 WWE shirts in a row. Thanks, Tim, for nothing. God, way to break it. Way to break it.
Well, I'm wearing a cool shirt too.
What do you got under there?
Some lame, kind of funny shirt.
It is, but it's a cool one though.
Oh, it's a
Hold on.
baller shirt, ladies
Oh, the
and
basketball
gentlemen.
one.
This one,
Go
you guys
check
can
that
get
out.
it right now on kindafunny.com/store for a major discount. I don't know why I'm touching
I
myself
think
that
the
way.
discount's done,
But-
unfortunately.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was only till 3 o'clock, but maybe we can get that
Well,
reinstated.
You can get it without a discount, everybody.
Help us.
Go check it
Just-
out,
go buy the
everyone.
Support us.
basketball
What's wrong
shirt.
with
What's
you?
your
Get it
problem?
done, folks.
You know what I mean?
God.
It's easy to do that. There is an intensity to mothers, and we'll be talking to my mom and her intensity. She's like, I have nothing to complain about. I'm sure she's got something to complain about it. Don't worry about it. But first, I'll remind you all that this is the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, each coming to hang out with each other and talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to talk with us, well, there's a bevy, some would say, of ways to do it. Of course, my favorite is for you to be watching on patreon.com/kindafunny live as we record the show, just like Keegan is, Cody is, and Melissa are. We're going to get to Melissa and Cody, Mom. Don't you wait. Melissa Hagler, Cody Hagler.
Yeah.
Husband and wife, brother and sister.
Both.
The answer may surprise you, but they're expecting a baby. Anyways, back to it. You can be on patreon.com/kindafunny and become a running gag like the Hagglers. Or while you're there, you can, of course, you get
You
the show.
too can become a running gag
Yeah. We can start
Listen,
spreading horrible
with the
rumors
exception-
about
about potential incest.
With the exception that Bert Meg really never came back. He
never
went
came
away, came back, and the joke was still funny. Mom,
Funny
you're going to
name.
look me in the eye
Yeah.
and tell me there's a name funnier than Bert Meg. And here's the kicker, B-E-R-T.
Yeah. Not even like Burt, not even the respect to spell it like Burt Reynolds.
Oh my God, this kid every day rolls out of bed and looks at his ID. Just laughs.
That's how you know we're honest here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not afraid to drive you the fuck away from our content.
That's the kind of relationship we have on patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can watch the show live as we record it. You, of course, get the show ad-free. You, of course, can just support us, which is great, but you can also get a bevy of bonus content, including daily Gregways, kind of Feudies each and every week, where there's one really handsome champion and a whole bunch of other exclusive shows that are only on patreon.com/kindafunny. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. Of course, you can write in to be part of the show for free at kindafunny.com/kfpodcast. Of course, you can get the show on youtube.com/kindafunny and podcast services around the globe each and every week for free. You don't get to support us through the traditional way of giving us money, but you do get to listen and you get the ads that way too.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff happening over there, of course, but no matter how you choose to support the show, thank you so much. Consider using the Epic creator code KindaFunny when you're checking out on the Epic Game Store and or playing a game like Fortnite, Rocket League, etc. on your PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, you name it, it's there. We're also on Twitch. I don't think that's the graphic Kevin wanted to run, but I'm going to call it out since it's there, you know?
No, I was just running all three of them.
I appreciate you,
The
Kevin.
smoke machine, that was a failure that was unaccounted for.
Failure to
It's
launch.
okay.
Great McConaughey movie.
Again, was it? I don't think it was. Oh, Terry Bradshaw, right? Terry
Yeah,
Bradshaw
yeah.
was his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
He just wouldn't leave the house.
yeah,
And they're like, get out.
yeah,
That was the whole movie.
yeah.
Failure to launch.
But was that another Kate Hudson joint?
I think I get confused because
How to-
Kate Hudson was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was so successful. They were like, let's put her back into Failure to Launch. I only saw both of them once, so I cannot comment.
You ever? Yeah,
Who did you think was the girl?
I was
Kate
wondering
Hudson?
if Kate Hudson was in Failure to Launch.
No,
Who was it?
Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yeah,
Jessica
That's
Sarah Parker?
right.
Sarah Jessica
It was because
Parker.
they hire her. They're like, get him out of the
Yeah.
house.
Sure, sure.
You were in Sex in the City, Sarah Jessica Parker. Get some Sex
She
in the
still
City
was,
in some other
right?
city.
I think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
before it, though.
Really? Before Sex and the City?
No, maybe not. I don't know.
I feel like Sarah Jessica
The
Parker.
2006 film.
Mhm.
So I think that was
That
at the end.
Might have been the tail end
Yeah.
of
She's like,
Sex
I'm
and
going
the
to pivot
City.
this into a huge.
the first Sex in the City. Now, of course,
Yeah,
and
it
just
was-
like that.
And now
it's
they're
back
just
for
like that
season 2.
again,
Yeah,
right?
man, Paula is mad about that show.
Mad
He's
about that
mad
show?
about it?
Yeah,
It was
she
Matthew
does not like it.
McConaughey, too.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
that part. We knew
Okay.
that.
I love Matthew McConaughey. And that's Matthew McConaughey before he was like, I'm either going to quit acting or try to actually get better projects, and literally turned his whole career around with Dallas Buyers Club and all that stuff. Look at that.
Interstellar.
Failure to Launch. It's Jay Parker.
S.J. Parker.
You ever
What
think
they call her?
Thought about going by that?
I mean, S.J.P. is a more kind of funny way of going, but no, you just go S.J. Parker.
S.J. Parker,
All right.
man.
Like it?
Look, man, I was on a morning show for 3.5 hours today. Okay.
Yeah.
5.6 out of 10 on this one, huh?
Yeah, not a good movie.
Oh, okay.
Terry Bradshaw.
Despite starting the whole thing off saying, good movie? Not a good movie.
Well, actually, okay, so I don't recall Failure to Launch. I do remember How to Lose a Guy in 10 Dates or Days, whatever.
Days,
I remember
days.
hating that movie when I saw it.
Mm.
I don't think it has gotten
I'd rather
better with
watch
time.
this one than
Me
that
too.
one.
So what we're doing tonight after we got to do some stuff tonight. After that, I'll come over to his place and we'll watch this together.
Okay.
Some popcorn.
Tomorrow, Mom and I are going to go see a movie at the movie theater.
What are you guys going to go see?
Book Club 2?
Oh.
Did you know there was a Book Club
wait.
1?
Hold on. Book Club.
It's a sequel to Sisterhood of the Traveling.
Sorry,
No,
no.
it's
Book
a-
Smart is what I was thinking.
Oh,
Great
no,
movie.
no Book Smart. about
Great
the
What's
Jake
Book
college.
Club 1?
Mom?
The prequel to Book Club 2.
It's exactly. Thank you.
Don't be on her side all the time. There's Book Club there. Look,
Oh, this movie!
I got Jane
Yeah.
Fonda,
Is that Candace Bergen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary.
Candy Bergen.
Who I got there? Mary Steam? Huh?
Steve Burgeon.
Okay, yeah, okay. Ted Danson's. What?
They got Bergen
Right.
and Bergen, Steve Bergen?
Yeah.
They got the
Oh,
Bergen?
Diane Lane? No, Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton.
That is Diane
Right.
Keaton.
We got a movie going.
All right, bro. I got to watch this movie. I'm surprised. I'm shocked I haven't seen this.
More importantly, Kevin, I'm sure it's on the screen. I just don't see it. When did Book Club 1? Oh, there it is. Yeah. 2018.
God, you got good eyesight.
I was
What-
telling you, man.
I couldn't
We
see
walked by yesterday, the movie theater, and it said Book Club, whatever.
Who?
No, it's Book Club : the books are back or something. You know what I mean?
The book's Revenge of the
No,
Book.
they're going to
Don't burn
Italy
me.
this time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
For
know.
the bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
Here's of
Party.
course why I want to watch this.
Book
I'm a huge Frankie and Grace
The
fan.
next chapter.
Great subname.
Yeah, there it
Great
is.
nailed
subheader.
it.
See,
Is that Andy Garcia they're gonna make out with? And
Yeah.
Don Johnson?
You
Don
got to
the
have
Don
Andy
Johnson?
Garcia
Don
in this flick,
Johnson's
you know
in
what I
there.
mean?
When I went to see Return of the Jedi in theaters a couple weeks ago for the
They did
40th
not show the
anniversary,
trailer
they
for
showed
this.
the trailer. For
They
this.
showed the trailer.
They showed the
They know
trailer
their
for
for
audience.
book club. The next
Greg,
chapter.
they know their
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. But no, I was like really baffled because I was like, "Who is the audience for?" I don't get it.
Mom.
Like,
Oh,
are you,
ladies,
Us,
yeah.
dude.
but like, so I'm very interested by this because we've been talking a lot. I forgot who I was talking to, but someone here about like Reese Witherspoon and that era
Love Reese Witherspoon.
of actresses who
Can't stand her.
who-
Only because Kevin Smith can't stand her, and I'm not sure if he still can't stand her.
it's really weird. All of that.
Breezy Reese Witherspoon.
Wow.
Breezy Witherspoon. He called
Did he
her
really
once.
have a beef?
Yeah, she was mean to Joey Lauren Adams.
What?
And so if you're gonna be mean to Amy from Chasing Amy, we're gonna have a fucking problem, right? All right, that's a non-starter for Greg Miller.
That's a
The
bummer.
way people feel, like where it's like, I'm talking to somebody out, fucking Oregon, and they're like, I've never thought about Kansas, but Greg hates Kansas, so I hate Kansas.
Yeah.
That's how I am with Kevin Smith.
Hate by
Kevin
proxy.
Smith gave out the message, we hate Reese Witherspoon. I'm like, yo, fuck Reese Witherspoon.
Wow.
She was great in that HBO show I like a lot.
I never watched
Do,
that.
do, do, do. You know the one I'm talking about.
Little
Big Little
Lies.
Lies, great.
I'm a
Never
huge
forget.
Legally Blonde
Greg,
fan,
she
so I
played
cannot.
Alyssa. Amy
never
was
seen
the
it.
story, remember?
Yeah, but remember at the I'm helping out a listener who's brand new, and remember at the end when Ben gives the book, it is about chasing Amy. He made into
All
a
right,
thing
you
about
got
her.
Of course,
me.
Joy
You got
Lara-
me.
Of course, Amy, best role, Biodome.
No, it wasn't. Chasing Amy was her best role.
Ah, man. Let's look at the grossest.
The only
Let's look at the
thing-
grossest.
We're gonna get
Biodome.
back to your
top
thread. We're
grossing
gonna get back
comedy
to
of that
your
year.
thread. But the only thing I ever remember about Biodome
Bud and Doyle.
is just that
buddy.
fucking ending where like it's right before everything goes to shit, and the one woman's like, "I'm through to the bottom, waiting to be
Waiting to be
stirred." I was like sitting in my childhood bedroom watching this on Fox 32. I'm like, it's fucked up, man.
It is. Yeah, it was a very oddly sexual line.
Why?
For sure. I don't know.
It didn't make any sense for what they were doing at the time. I digress. Tim, back to you and your book club next chapter conversation.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where I was
It was
going,
that-
but I think I was saying that Reese Witherspoon has kind of created a lot of jobs, like via her production company, created a lot of jobs for actresses of her age and her kind of era to kind of
Reese
continue.
Witherspoon isn't even near the age of these actresses.
Exactly. But like she was like, hey, there's clearly a gap in the roles that women are getting in movies, and I want to solve that so that there's a place for us going forward and a place for the next generations. So like there's this big gap to these people, and I'm just interested that like, is this just kind of the like this is the in 30 years or whatever, Reese Witherspoon and her contemporaries are going to be making their book.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I mean, her production company has been widely successful, if I'm not mistaken, for getting those books very quickly, like early on, getting the rights to all these books and stuff like the one that she was in where she got critical acclaim for, where she was like hiking around the world to give up drugs or something like that. I can't remember, but I never saw the movie. But that was a book. She gets a lot of book deals. Or a lot.
Called Wild.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. But that's her production company
To
going.
be clear,
after
Reese
these.
Witherspoon, a very talented actress. It's just
This
Kevin
is
Smith
what I'm
does-
saying is, so
I've
maybe we-
tweeted at Kevin Smith. Is
Right.
she still on the bad list?
So
We'll
what
figure it out.
I'm asking is this: do you think that, given all the facts about Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah.
and we all clearly feel very positively toward her, do you think maybe Joey Lauren Adams was the asshole in this situation? Did you ever think about that?
I did it. The problem is, Kevin, do you remember?
What is the deal?
I think it was something.
the
It wasn't
tea?
even like she was mad at her. That Reese was mad at Joey Lauren, I would say, for something she said or did. It was like she poo-pooed her like acting chops or career kind of thing.
I mean, that I can't stand by. Joey Lauren Adams, very good actor.
Yeah.
Very good actor.
Yeah.
But you never know. People, you catch someone wrong at one of these cool Oscar parties that
Sure.
we all go to, and someone says the
Like
wrong
with you,
thing.
Phil DeFranco, that one time.
I mean, we don't talk about that story anymore.
Oh, that's a lot
What
of
is this right here?
text. What is
That's a lot, Kevin. Can you read this
Yeah,
to
I
us
mean,
slowly?
yeah, well, just
Oof. Hey, guys, we're not in a good spot. Let's just say.
look at the untold tale of Reese Witherspoon. I remembered that from a December 1st, 2001 blog post on Kevin Smith.
I wish we were just a little closer with Kevin Smith that we can call him right now.
See,
And just put
yeah,
him
that's
on
the thing.
spot
Is
where
if
he never wants to talk to us
I could
again.
call Jay Muse right now, and he would be like, "I have no fucking idea what you're talking
Jay,
about."
he's not going to remember.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not going to remember. that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Kevin gets back to us
Okay.
on Twitter. We'll see what that says. The other thing too, I like. There's a good TikTok trend going around where it's like I'll tell you right now, everybody. All right, it's low bar humor.
It's
You know what I
TikTok.
mean? It's not that smart. There's a lot of great stuff.
Eh.
It's not that smart, but it's kids like in the teens with their TikToks, right? Okay, Kevin, I need you. It's too
Can you
small.
zoom in on it a
yeah,
little,
it's
Kev?
too small for my old
Zoom
man
in.
eyes.
Zoom.
Here we're at the problem. All right.
Who wrote this?
The
shit?
mockery was this is Kevin. The mockery was thus: Reese and Paul Rudd, the male lead, are doing the closing shot of the flick where they walk away from the camera. They're supposed to be talking playfully, but since it's understood this is the closing shot and presumably end credits music will be playing, no dialogue is written. So the director tells the actors to make stuff up, as it's not going to be heard anyway. What follows is the exchange, as told to me in my elephantian memory and ass, by someone who was there. Reese says, "Who wrote this shit?" Paul says, "I think Kevin Smith." Reese says, "Ugh, didn't he write Mallrats?" Paul says, "Yeah, but he also wrote Clerks." Reese says, "Who cares? No wonder this dialogue sucked."
I mean, she's not wrong.
You
That's what I'm saying
sound-
is you can't find
Nick,
fault
you
in these
sound-
statements.
Nick, you sound crazy right now.
Wait, so the director said walk away.
No,
And
It-
vamp.
I don't know. Well, we got dropped into a story there, so I don't know what.
I want to know more
matter.
because if
The
if
thing
you
on
said to me,
TikTok,
if you said to me,
Yeah.
no, we have to clarify.
Yeah.
If you said, Nick, I'm directing you in a scene, and you said Nick and Tim walk away, and just vamp something, of course I'm dunking on you the entire time
well,
because
sure,
the
but that's
sound
us,
guy is the
man.
hardest working guy on set. We got to give him a little laugh.
Give him something.
You know, we're not we're paying him in fucking like old muffins from the craft
I don't
service
think
table.
that's true. I think he's
You
got a
know,
union. that
Muffin.
makes
Well,
him
yeah.
really well.
Are they going to strike?
They're
you?
union old
Exactly,
muffins.
right. TikTok, the
Mhm.
trend is that the people are basically like, the kid's recording and then goes, "Oh my god," and then whatever. Somebody in the room's like, "Favorite actor or actress just died," or whatever, and you get their reaction to the thing. Again, low bar humor, not real humor. But there was a good iteration on it, real briefly. What you understand what I'm saying, Tim?
Mhm.
Okay, make sure I was clear because you gave me the squint like you didn't get me. There was a good iteration I saw where it was, "Oh my god, that actress has been murdered," and everyone in the room like, "Which one?" She's like, Reese, and people go, "Reese Witherspoon," and he goes, "No, with a knife." You know what I mean? I like that.
I did like that.
Back
I
to
like
it,
that.
right? It
Yeah.
played
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
well in the moment.
It's a real thinker's joke,
You know, when you got the camera and it was happening. Remember, of course, all the stuff I said about how to support the show. Also, housekeeping for you. On Friday, May 19th, we're celebrating Big Kev Dog and Mike, the master of hype, Howard's birthday with a special subathon marathon stream. We're going to get in our PJs, build a fort, and go late if you want it.
Thank you.
Come join us for some snacks, games, and sleep and other vibes
Nice.
on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames and youtube.com/kindafunnygames.
Mike, you can't wait, buddy. Can't wait.
Thank you.
You got some fun stuff planned there, Nick? You gonna have a good time on
We're
this?
gonna have a great time. We're gonna play some games with everyone. We're gonna build forts. We're gonna have some competitions. There might be a $100 Amazon gift card on the line.
Wow.
That anyway, it's not on the line. I'm gonna fucking win it. So you know what I mean?
Oh, so not online for the audience.
No, for the people who can.
Okay.
And we're putting the belt on.
Oh, in the
line.
room I can get it.
Oh yeah, you can get it.
If I come in the room, I can
No,
get
you're
the
not
card?
going to. We're gonna play Nidhogg, and it's gonna be.
For my
I'm gonna
championship?
dunk on you. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what
about that.
happens. Yeah.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Nathan Lamoth, James Hastings, Casey Andrew. Today we're brought to you by Shady Rays, but we'll talk about that later. For now, do a podcast. Mom's here. I
Good
asked
deal.
Mom, a whole bunch of people on Twitter, 1.2 million, but who's counting? To write in with questions for you for free as they can on kindafunny.com/KF podcast. A lot of people did. A lot of people, of course, have seen you on a multitude of shows.
Yes.
So I appreciated the people who brought new questions, stuff we had never heard before. Mr. Ben Show says, "Are smoked meats the best meats?"
I was wondering if that question was for me.
It's for everybody. I mean, it just wrote in.
Hmm.
You can write in about whatever you want.
Oh, I see.
Are smoked meats the best meat?
Well, I think smoked fish is the best meat.
Fish is bad. That's a bad
No,
thing.
no. I
Bad
like
thing.
smoked fish.
Oh, I like a good smoked salmon.
Yeah.
I like a good. What's the other fish they smoke? Whitefish.
Chubs.
Chubs?
Yeah,
What's that?
chubs. They're whitefish.
Yeah,
Smoking
that's
a chub
good.
right now.
Had
Yeah.
that for the first time in a long time the other day.
Yeah. It's hard to
Um,
find a good smoked meat that's not oily.
Can I throw this out there though as just an alternative to the smoked meats? More as an Italian, more of a cured meat fan. If I'm being 100% honest with you.
Sure.
Similar, not really.
I mean, they're meat.
Like
So you're talking about a salami.
A good salami, a good prosciutto.
Prosciutto. I had some prosciutto the other day out there.
Sometimes they smoke it and all you taste is the smoke.
The smoked meat's the best meat. No, pork is. And I understand but we're just saying it's the best meat of all time. Right? Yeah.
Is pastrami pork?
I mean,
yeah.
Yes,
I'm pretty
right?
sure it is. Yeah, right?
Because Tim and I went and got this
Ham,
chicken place the
bacon,
other day,
sausage. You kidding me right now?
and I got
Pastrami?
pastrami.
No,
And they-
pastrami isn't.
What is it? It's ham?
Pastrami is beef.
Pork.
Pastrami is basically corned beef with pepper on it.
Oh, okay. So it is a beef.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it the other day, and it made
Beef
my.
brisket,
I got
man.
it. You can't eat too much of it because they gave me a heaping portion of it. I was like, this is gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 bites in, I'm like, this is a terrible idea, and my stomach hurt for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I got ham and it was real good.
Yeah,
I
think
love
about
ham.
Big ham boy.
You know what I mean?
But I don't know. I mean,
And corned beef.
I choose ham probably over anything, but I feel like I couldn't say that any meat's the best meat that's not steak. Like steak's the best meat.
Steak is good. Try it.
I agree.
I agree that steak is like a great, celebration or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Like I like. Don't get me wrong. I like steak. We made your steak last night. Was it good?
It was very good.
Cooking with Greggy, still available on YouTube.com/KindaFunny.
Numbers are climbing.
But what I appreciate is the versatility of pork. Where I'm like, no matter what you're doing with this pig, I'm like, man, I'm in hog heaven. Pun intended. You know what I mean? But then it's like chicken, the working man's meat. Where it's like, you know what? Is it a chicken thigh, a chicken breast, a leg, a wing, whatever? Like this thing's kicking. This is good.
But I feel like not every part is equally good. I feel like
I mean,
everybody
I'm
has
gonna
one
eat a-
chicken they don't like, one part of the chicken they don't like as much. Whereas like
Well, sure,
everything you
yeah,
just said about the pig, I'm just equally in.
Sure.
No, but you get dry pig all the time. The big
Bacon.
pork chop that's just a little too cooked, and it's like you're like, it's too dry.
But that's
I
when
think
you know you're just at a
steak-
bad place.
Yeah.
I love being at a restaurant. You see a pork chop on there. You're like, I'm gonna get that because the fact that they have the balls to put this on a menu means they know what they're doing.
But the thing is, if you go to a place and you have all the options, it's not going to cost any money. It's like a free thing, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to go with the steak? A little
No,
lobster
you're
on top?
100% correct. You're 100%
Yeah,
correct.
there you go. So I think that that makes it so that like the steak is definitely the best meat.
Can I say something though about what you just said, Kevin? Because you're not wrong.
Uh-huh.
And I
He's
know
living,
that-
he's living on Fantasy Island over there where nothing costs anything.
Nothing
I mean, that's
costs
not
Nick,
true.
Nick, help-
We've
let's
had
meet
free
in the middle.
steaks all the time.
Never once.
what I'm gonna say is this: you're not wrong, and to 90% of people I totally understand what you're talking about. But just if you're gonna give me steak with lobster on top, take the lobster, throw it out the window, give me another steak.
I'm with
That's
you.
what I say.
You
I don't
want
like
no steak?
lobster at
You
all.
can't do two
I just
steaks.
don't like
You can
lobster.
give me the 2 lobsters.
I'm so with
You
you.
get the
Nick.
two. You take.
I love lobsters.
It's,
Because we
it
don't
doesn't
get
taste
it
like
by
anything.
us.
It just tastes like butter.
But I'm just
Well,
I'm with
not
you.
if
I'm
you
a
cook
crab
it
guy.
right.
Well, I never had.
Lobsters.
boil it, right?
Crab's the
No,
bomb.
Crab's
I
amazing.
grill it.
Crab.
Oh.
Well, can we start calling crab the king of the sea?
Yeah.
Why is it
You
lobster?
know what? Yeah.
Let's start that movement.
Here's what I'll
with
say
you.
right now. I'm sorry to come in and rain on your parade. I fucking have banned crab from my house.
Why?
All right? It's too much work for too little return.
Oh, God, you sound like my husband.
Now, have I made Jen ever? Not made is a strong word, but I've made my point, and then Jen's like, "What if I crack it all for you?" I'm like, "Then have at it." You know what I mean? Because crab's delicious. Crab is a delicious sea bug. I'm with you on that one. The problem is though, you're sitting there with the little fork digging in this knuckle.
Yeah.
I'm covered in just fucking juice and crap. I'm like, ugh.
Now,
God.
what if we could hire someone to go to
You
your
know,
house
the
and
red
shuck
crabs
the
like
crab?
that.
Yeah, sure, let 'em all-
Those are
Okay.
easy to crack and get.
No,
Yeah, you can suck it right out. That's
yeah,
king
yeah.
crab
Right out
right
of
there,
the-
baby. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. You talk to somebody who's from, Maine,
Yeah.
the colonies, as we call them. You talk to anybody from out there who's been on the eastern seaboard.
They eat crab for breakfast.
They're basically born, tossed in there. They come out with a lobster and a crab that they can
You
crack.
look over
open.
like it's a hamburger bun with a crab in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are tough as
But, and like a crab cake, you kidding me? Come on now, that's
crab cakes are
delicious.
the bomb.
Sometimes you always get a shell in there.
Too oily. Yeah.
Yeah. Clam chowder.
Has anyone had the
clam chowder.
crab when that it's like it's just molted, so you just eat the whole thing?
Isn't that
Yes.
what do you call that?
Blue shell crab.
Blue shell crab. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
Soft shell crab.
Soft shell.
And they're
Is it
usually blue.
recommendable?
Yeah, you can eat them.
Again, it solves the
usually they
problem.
just spread them and fry them, and you eat them just. like
Scientists are so hung up on, oh man, can we cure cancer? No. You've tried long enough. Instead, go in there and make all the crabs just eatable right away.
edible.
I said what I said. You know what I mean?
I think it's
Like,
a great idea.
You know,
Imagine you're like, it's like a cartoon. You reach in and grab a crab, and you're like, I'm hungry, and you just eat it.
that's the other thing too. I'm
They
sick.
fight back.
I'm sick of going to the beach and being afraid of shit that's washed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These little jellyfish, your man of wars,
Jellyfish are
maybe a
tough.
crab with a thing. Why don't we take the fight to them? Every time I'm watching a movie, a
Aquaman.
cinematic masterpiece like an X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
we got Magneto out there changing people up, Senator Kelly. You know what I mean? We got to crack a few eggs, sure. We're going to have some problems. But eventually, we turn it on this ocean people. Why aren't we going in there and saying, you know what? Ocean people, also
Sing
known
a
as...
nice little hymn as we walk in.
No, don't get me started.
Yeah?
You know what I mean?
Yes, we'll
Go in
turn
there.
blue when we get out.
Reverse engineer or something, or mutate them, the algae, the crocodile,
I have lost the plot.
and
on this
have
one,
them
Greg.
go in there and eat the pollution. You know what I
The
mean?
plastics.
Exactly.
You know, they talk about microplastics. Now, the whole ocean is just microplastic now.
Yeah.
What if we train crocodiles to ingest them and poop out bottles?
Oh, man, we'd be onto something.
Idea, man. Feed mayonnaise to the tuna fish, right?
There it is.
Yeah.
They come out.
Yeah.
Tuna salad.
We're right back to it where we started a long time ago on this show, right? Stick with me, Tim, who
Yep,
thinks we're
stick-
moving around too much. Horses. All right?
Yeah.
Don't start.
You're big on horses. You love horses. I get
Look at
it.
these
Horses are your video game. I get it.
Horses are more than a video game.
Well, okay, now hold on a second. You know what I mean? Just don't insult my love of video games.
Okay,
What
I
I'm
understand where you're
saying
going
is
with
that
that.
I hear all the time, every time I open a newspaper in these United States, that horses are as smart as 12-year-olds or some shit like that, right?
I don't know.
Horses ain't talking. You know what I mean? Horses
I will
ain't
say this.
talking.
Didn't,
I've
didn't
never-
you ever see Mr. Ed?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm saying somebody needs to. We got to a point where we're like, this is as far. Thank you for the reference photo.
In case you
people
don't
don't know what a
know,
horse is.
this is what a horse is.
We got to a
Good
point
job,
where we were
man.
like,
No,
you
they
know
used
I
what?
to
use Scout as my own horse.
Is it where you want to get?
Yeah,
We
where
don't
do
do we
I
have a
find
horse?
that?
But you got an Instagram for that?
They're
horse?
all on my phone.
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
We get to a
Okay.
point where we're like, you know what? We know all we know about these things, and we move on.
Mhm.
Whereas I really feel it's time for some of that mad scientist shit. It's time for somebody to go and shake up the system. Here in Silicon Valley, where we're from, where we make our money, we talk about disruption a lot.
Yeah.
No one is disrupting the horse business.
You know, you're
no
talking
one is
about the high
disrupting
evolutionary
the
here, Greg.
ocean.
That's right. That's right. They're
I'm
thinking
about.
it.
I'm ready to disrupt horses and oceans. Another thing too. You like horses? Seahorses.
Yeah.
We take our horses,
Big.
talk to them, get them talking a little bit so they can communicate. You know what I mean? Get them, of course, then to give consent to be experimented on to eat lobster. No, sorry.
Wait.
To eat plastic. To eat
Yeah.
plastic.
Get the
Got it.
plastic.
We unleash them. You know what I mean?
For a
Did you
second,
know
I
that
thought
male seahorses give birth?
I did know that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Melissa Hagler, the one and only from, of course, patreon.com/KindaFunny. And, of course, Instagram.com, whatever her handle is, but she keeps her profile public, whereas her husband, Cody, mom,
Yes.
has something to hide.
Okay.
Why is he not? What's he hiding in this private Instagram? Nobody knows. He won't tell me.
Okay.
Melissa, open book. Anyways, Melissa Hagler writes in to patreon.com. No, kindoffunny.com/KF podcast. It says, hello, Jamie Kennedy. Happy Mother's Day
Hello.
to you.
Thank you.
My husband and I, oh yeah, sorry, they're not brother and sister. They're husband and wife. My husband and I,
We think.
I mean, don't get me started. My husband and I are expecting our first child in October. So coming off of Mother's Day, I'd love to know your biggest advice for first-time parents when they first get home from the hospital, or any other words of wisdom for us. Cheers, Cody and Melissa Hagler.
The most important thing when you first get home from the hospital is relax.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't.
Yeah?
I got myself a panic attack when I came home with you.
You knew you had perfection right there.
Yeah. I kept thinking I had 21 years with you. I didn't, but I kept thinking that.
Yeah. Oh, you felt the clock ticking immediately?
Oh yeah,
when you got there?
immediately when
Jen's the
I
same
got
way.
home.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can't wait to smoke a grit with him, have a beer. You know what I mean?
Can I buy him his first pack of cigarettes?
Sure, I'd love
Cool.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I just remember panicking because I had all those years with you that I had a mold. I had a human being that I had a mold, and the reality of it hit me when I was home alone.
That was when Dad was getting fried chicken, right?
Yeah,
And he came
Dad
back
went
and
to
you were
get
just
dinner,
freaking
and
out.
I was exactly. Yep.
The
but-
relax is the
Yeah,
the-
relax and let your baby guide you as to what you need to do with it. They will let you know what their interests are, what their needs are, and it's not something that you can prearrange. You can try and get them on a schedule. That helps a lot as far as daily. But I mean, when you're looking at the big picture of what they want to do, they'll tell you as they progress.
You
And
try to get
don't-
him on a horse.
Yeah,
won't do
don't
it.
poo-poo it.
He won't do it.
I did it.
Did you
Oh,
ride
he's
horses?
ridden. Yeah. he's
Gerardo
ridden.
is Cole says cool said, did Greg ever fall off a horse? Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Clearly.
2
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
I came to visit in the horse. I fell off the horse.
Clearly.
Well, you fell off the
Very
horse because the
kick-
person didn't tighten your girth. It wasn't your fault.
The
Exactly.
real question
And
is,
I didn't
did Greg
check
get
it.
kicked in the head by a mule a couple times? Down
That
there
is
on
the question, man. I don't know.
But I mean, it's like when I was a kid, my thing was horses. My parents poo-pooed it and put me off and didn't want me to have a horse and gave me the challenge of when you can afford a horse, you can buy a horse. So I did when I was 14.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question there, though. Like, do you think they should have got you a horse earlier than that?
No, but they should have let me ride.
For it.
They should have
Yeah.
gotten me riding lessons. They
Okay.
should have let me go to summer camp with horses. I was denied those things, and basically it was because I had an older sister who did those things and lost interest.
Mm,
And
Oh, so
therefore,
they
I was
thought
going to lose interest.
You'll lose interest. So why
Yeah, I
bother
couldn't have
investing the
piano
money?
lessons because she had, and
Mhm.
she didn't care about them. I couldn't go to dance because she did, and she didn't care about it. And the one thing I wanted was a horse, and everybody kept telling him I was going to outgrow that. I'm still waiting.
Did Greg have any phases he went through? That
Yeah.
like he doesn't. That he's
Still in
like
it.
Well,
there was
Still
but
in
no,
it.
but like that's the thing. Things that
Ghostbusters.
like there were phases that he's not into anymore that we wouldn't know.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he tried. He was willing to try sports, but
I love how you phrased that. Willing
Well,
to
For me, I
try.
remember there being a moment it was the old house, our first house. So you're a kid, so I don't remember the
Yeah.
thing. But I don't know what I did that you weren't pissed off, but there was something going, and I think it was just that I didn't want to do anything or whatever. And you were like, if Mike Boylan can do cross country with his asthma, you're gonna get out there and do cross country. And I was like, I didn't want to do any sports or any after school activity or whatever.
But he did. He tried.
I
You
did
tri-
t-ball. I
yeah,
did
you
t-ball.
and you quit.
Of course.
You did football for one practice.
I was
and
gonna
you
say,
quit.
yeah, I don't even get to football. I did basketball. I did all
You
fifth
did
grade basketball.
You wanted to quit, and I wouldn't let you. I told you when you decided you wanted to do basketball, I told you that was a big team sport and that you had to finish the year.
Yeah.
And you guys won the championship that year.
Because of me. 'Cause
Yeah.
This game was like
the
tied.
Well,
Power forward, 6'4", and he was in
They
junior high.
put me down
He
there. They
wasn't, he
put
was
me down
tall.
there in the paint. What are you talking about? No, not
Wait,
there.
wow.
Elbow.
That's the only
throwing bows.
position I know in
Throwing
basketball.
bows. Sorry.
The paint.
Sorry.
So anything he wanted to try, I was willing to let him try. I mean, there was always the underlying what's the word I'm
know what
looking
you're going for.
Desire to do writing. I mean, his comic book was uppermost, I mean, I have a comic book at home that he wrote
The frog.
before Frogger, because he didn't have words. He didn't know how to write words yet,
Mm,
but he did a comic strip without words. And I have Frogger at home too. I have
His name was Froggy. Everybody. I don't want to
Froggy,
get
sorry.
sued by Frogger Incorporated.
Atari or whoever.
I don't know who actually
made
owns
Frog?
Frogger's rights. Anybody?
Yeah. And then the video games, those are important to him. But I didn't, as much heat as I got from other parents and from, you'll read it in the media, you guys hear it all the time, how, the video game is corrupting everybody and that's why people drive like idiots and that's why people are killing people and all this other crap. And it was like, I remember sitting Greg down and talking to him about the difference between a video game and real life.
This is not the comic I wrote about Froggy, all right? My Frog comic strip has a copyright, I'll have you know, Kevin.
What a
This is,
dick.
I don't know what this is.
Froggy Eats Out by Jonathan. Who was-
Jonathan, somebody, yeah.
Someone. That's fun.
But, I wanted to encourage those things too. And I'm glad I did, looking back on it. But I mean, I got a lot of flack, like the wrestlers. I got a lot of flack from other mothers at school about, oh, that's so violent. Why would you let him do that? And you let him stay home and play video games. And it was like, that's his passion. Just like horses were my passion. And, they kept trying to squish it. I wouldn't do that to him. If that's his passion, let him ride it out. Either it was going to turn into something or it was just a phase he was going to go through.
See,
But I wasn't going to tell him, don't do it because, society said don't.
that's the hard part because I loved music growing up,
Uh-huh.
and I took about probably 2 to 3 months worth of piano lessons and just didn't take to it.
Mhm.
And my mom let me quit.
Yeah.
And I remember later, maybe around 2022, being like, I really wish I knew how to I wish
Play
she
an
hadn't
instrument.
let me had forced me to do it more. But I don't think I would. I mean, I just didn't take to it. Unlike trumpet, where I was like, for whatever reason, I picked it up and this was it.
One hand.
Uh-huh.
It was super easy.
Yeah.
This instead of all these.
Yeah.
And the feet. But looking back on it now, I'm like, I wish I could have had the passion for that. And I wonder if she'd have made me stick with it for just a little bit longer.
Mhm.
But I guess you can't really make a kid stick with something.
If you do right, that's going to
Yeah.
be what pushes them away from it, right? Trying to
Exactly,
keep them
yeah.
to do it.
Or they
Well,
become
just
a
like you
concert
did
pianist.
saxophone too.
And a saxophone, that's right.
Yeah.
Silver medalist, no big deal.
In what?
In saxophone.
In saxophone.
Yeah.
National sport saxophone.
It's a little band competition at the end of the year.
I'm teasing.
Poe got a gold. He holds it.
Oh,
over there.
hell
I
yeah.
was a college professor now.
Yeah. Good for him. That
No,
was fun.
Good working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks about that. Melissa, you didn't ask me, but my words of wisdom for you, of course, would be, since I have a son now, of course, would be the one thing I didn't know, right? Like I've talked about it a bunch in different episodes of this show, right? Stick with me. When that time where Porty got sick and it was like, oh shit, he's actually close to death and it was still like years away. But ever since once I had that, I was like, oh, I need to try to remember how he feels and what he smells like and do that. And like really was in the moment with him. And I think similar to your relaxed thing, coming back with Ben, since especially not knowing what it was, coming back and then you don't understand. And like, even now as things change so rapidly with him, like I didn't understand of him holding him on my chest in that hospital room that I needed to really soak in that moment, because in 3 days he's not going to even weigh the same. It's not going to feel the same, let alone when he's moving, wiggling, becoming a person, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? Like that was gone in a flash. That like
it's important to live in the moment with the kid.
And try to take like mental inventory of what it felt like and smelled like and did all these different things.
Yeah.
Because like even yesterday, 2 days ago when we were at that restaurant, and like the couple came in and started talking to us behind us, and like as soon as I saw that baby, it's like, oh my god, this is a newborn. You know what I mean? That's not a baby, that's a newborn. It was 2 weeks old, and I was like, oh man, like that's crazy. Of like I remember that, but in the grand scheme of our lives was not long ago, right? It was 19 months ago, 18 to 19 months ago, depending on what. But it's like that was over and so fast, and he just keeps accelerating, changing, yada yada yada. Like we were looking for photos for something and looking.
One of the things with Ben that I've noticed since being here this time too is like last night when you put him down and he calls for you and calls for you. You give him a time and then you go back in with him.
Yeah.
There has been more and more that I've been reading about, that period of time goes by so quick. And I know in my era it was you put him in the bed and you close the door and let him cry. He'll cry himself to sleep. Hell no. That period of time goes by too quick. Before you know it, he's not going to be asking Dad to come in and put him to bed. He's just going to be going to bed.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if you go in there?
Yeah. That was something.
He needs you. He needs that comfort. He needs that support right now.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the second check-in afterwards is not like he needs anything. Yeah. It's usually he just wants to see you again. Like, I knew you'd come, and then we hug and sit there for a second, and then he goes back down.
Yeah.
As long as I want you. Last night
but
I fell
he
asleep.
wants that.
I woke up like, oh shit, he's asleep. So am I. Fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah, he wants it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think about that too.
And
especially
that goes by in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Especially, you talked about the earlier, like, you thought you'd have 21 years or whatever, and college changes that. It's the same thing, and that's what, Jen is so good at in terms of looking forward, right? Where she's like, every year we're taking a summer vacation. Like, we're actually taking time off, and not that you were taking time off and going somewhere for, all 2 weeks of time off, but it's about that. You get 18 of those, right? Where it's that. And I saw some horrible, every TikTok and, Instagram will break your heart now once you're a parent or whatever.
Yeah.
One of them being of like, by the time your child hits 18, and I'm sure this is a made up stat, but it seems accurate. By the time your child's 18, they've spent 93% of the time they're going to spend with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know what I mean? Because then they go off and start their own lives and do all this stuff. So it really is about like being in those moments and relative. And it was the same thing, when, we brought our nanny on, when we were doing the put down of going in there and sitting there and really rocking to sleep. And, it was like, well, I forget what it's even called now, because again, I've started to erase the information I don't need anymore to get the new information for trying to keep Ben alive. But like, what if we switch to this method and put him down and let him cry, but you go back every so often and you expand the thing and eventually he goes down. And it was that thing where Jen and I were both like, we tried it and it was just like, we'd rather just be there. It's going to be over soon enough, and like we'd rather be there to comfort him and put him down.
Exactly.
And so that's what we did.
There's something about the phrasing "put him down" that just like it's just so extreme.
I mean,
Let's put it this way: if they were using it in context of me, it would be a whole different story.
The first time I go in there, I go in there with him. We read the book. We put him in the sleep sack. It was like a potato sack with his arm sticking out. You know what I mean? Read him a story, brush his teeth. Put him into that crib, and then I leave and he cries and stuff. You come back in there, you put him back in. Usually that's it. If I come in a third time and he's standing up, Shawn Michaels super kick right over the railing. You know what I mean? That's it. Sweet chin music. See you tomorrow.
Put him down,
You
dude.
put it down for real.
Yeah, exactly. But I put the top. I put Cole in there. I put the top. It's a Hell in a Cell match now.
What is the two powerhouses? What does Ferberize mean? Somebody just put that in the chat.
Oh, that's a method. It's not what they called it, but yeah. It's the Ferber method. Yeah, for baby sleep. Is it what I was describing, Kev? I don't remember it.
It was what your mom was talking about, where you're like, okay, it's bedtime. You close the door and then you
That's
just
it.
let him cry to sleep.
Yeah.
Until he passed out.
I remember them making me do that with you. I had to go out of the house.
Yeah, you've said that. Yeah. Okay, so you guys tripped into two things I wanted to follow up with from.
You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. Thanks, you're dead now.
We're gonna. Oh, yeah, actually, before I go to this, one of the ones you said there about your parents and what they brought up and yada yada yada. A few weeks ago on the podcast, we had another question written in, and it was, Do you think if you could go back in time, you and your parents would have been friends in high school?
Mm.
Ooh.
We all answered. I wondered what your thought would be if you could go back in time to be in school with your parents. And we said high school, I think, on the show with Tam.
High
Is
school,
what we
yeah.
just picked, right? If you would be friends. Because I said for you and me, no. Not meaning that we'd be enemies. Not meaning that we wouldn't, be
We wouldn't be
acquaintances.
friends?
I think you're so into horses. I'd be like, all right, cool, go have fun with that. You know what I mean? I mean that kind of thing.
Well, maybe that's why I didn't have many friends in high school.
Hey, listen,
We're discovering a lot.
every school needs a weird horse girl, and you were it. I'm
was.
sorry you needed to have us
was it.
tell you.
You're
but yeah.
right.
Yo, is that true though? Like I'm pretty sure every single person I know, every school in San Francisco at least, there was one horse girl. There was only one per school.
I
Yeah.
don't think we had a horse girl on the
Yeah?
other side. I don't think
See,
we
like
had
a horse
horses on
girl,
the other side.
in-
Shout out to
in-
Emily, man. She was dope. She rode that horse onto the field.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
Like
the one-
randomly out of nowhere.
I think also horse girl, a lot of times when you talk about a horse girl, isn't even that they have a horse. It's just they have that strange obsession with horses.
Yeah.
Where they're drawing
born with
them
that.
and they have the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. That's not something you get. You were born with that. I can remember being 3 years old and watching Sky King, The Lone Ranger, and
Mr.
Roy
right.
Rogers,
Roy Rogers, okay.
just for the horses.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
Some of
I
these
can remember
things
telling my
inside your
parents, I
outfit.
want a horse, I want a horse, I want a horse.
Well, and you can understand your parents being like, because everyone wants a pony. Every kid wants a pony, and kids just don't. Kids.
But when
want
I
it,
was a
but-
kid, you could buy a pony in the, Sears catalog,
really,
Montgomery Ward's
what are
catalog.
we talking price wise back then?
$300. And then,
$300
Yeah.
for a pony.
yes.
Well, what would
now,
that be
yeah, I was gonna
equivalent
say,
to
what do you
now?
think? Ballpark, what would that be now-ish? you think?
Now?
Yeah,
$3,000?
I know. I'm not asking for actual cost of inflation,
Wait,
but like,
what year was that? Because I could look it up in inflation wise.
And those
It was
there aren't they?
1994.
70 years ago. 67, actually, when I was 3.
Like 7 years ago. That would be the
Now,
equivalent to $3 million.
I mean,
now.
if somebody wanted a decent pony for their kid,
yeah. Oh, I guess we could actually go that way. Ponies still exist, and you could
Yeah.
still buy them.
But I mean, I think, but that's different though. It's like I'd like to know that stat
How
too.
much
But
was the
you're-
pony?
I'm getting the vibe that these things were like cheaper.
This sounds like
they
it's,
were cheap, but you got to remember your dad didn't bring home $100 a week at that point.
yeah, for sure. But I mean,
So-
the fact that ponies are being shown in a Sears catalog.
You could even save bazooka bubblegum wrappers and get a pony.
a lot of gum though.
Yeah. There
Were there just ponies everywhere?
Evidently,
We hadn't
there were
taken the
everywhere
west
but-
yet.
ponies.
Everywhere but where I lived, we
You
didn't
pull
have
it
any
at 7-Eleven,
ponies
there's
around us.
Fucking so many ponies in this party.
Ponies,
lot,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Happening.
A $300 pony then would probably be maybe $3,000
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
So
was a lot.
that's
of
a
money.
lot.
Yeah,
for
it was a lot of
14-year-old
money
to-
for
to
my parents.
Pony
yeah.
up, no pun
Here
intended.
we go. Yeah,
Nailed it.
you nailed it, man. Good job.
Oh,
Damn.
wow! Look at that.
$3,000. So Greg.
Yeah.
Ben comes to you.
Yeah.
Says I need an elephant. I'm an elephant guy.
No,
Are
elephants
you gonna
way
try
more
to figure that out?
No. It's not even remotely the
Absolutely
same
not.
situation.
Not
What-
gonna do it. That's fair. Okay.
just
Checking it.
I hear you. I
well, a parrot.
appreciate
I'm
that.
a parrot guy. I like birds. I like birds that talk specifically.
Sure.
Oh, we had a
Want to go to our parrot?
It's like it was that thing where it's like I brought home a lot of dumb pets. When she started bringing home dumb pets, I was like, all right, we got this fucking parrot here now. Great, Billy. This is what I want screeching in the room next door.
They give it that high pitched sound. It sounds like someone's died. Every
Well, she was a
5 seconds.
conure, so it wasn't that high pitched,
Oh,
but it
wasn't
was
that-
loud.
Yeah, they get loud, dude. I dated a girl in high school whose mom had a bird. It
Jesus.
was a vibe. Used to come home and the bird used to look.
You
at me
need to
like,
look up that picture. It was
Oh
the
my
sun conure, Kevin.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't
You
worry
need to
about
look
it.
up that picture. It's a sun conure was our parrot.
What? Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go for it.
Okay. So, well, back to it. Do you think your parents and like
I probably
Jim
would've
and
been-
Mildred, you partying in high school?
Probably Jim.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have been friends with my mom. It was hard enough. When I was her kid.
Yeah.
Some friction.
No, my mom and I got along better than my sister and her, but
you go.
she
Older
was
sister or younger sister?
There you
Older
go.
sister, right?
older, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the
The,
youngest.
the eldest relationship is always more complex.
She's not the eldest.
wasn't.
No, I had two older brothers.
Well, everyone
One's
loves boys.
17 years older than me, one's 16 years older than me, and then my
Wow.
sister's 4 years
Wow,
older
that
than
is
me.
That might be the biggest gap I've ever heard.
I was
Do you
like,
think that is why you had more independence when you were like?
oh,
It's a
yeah.
pretty bold thing to be like, I'm going to buy a horse at 14.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My parents got tired of parenting. My mother, in particular, got tired of parenting by the time I came along.
He was just like, I've seen it all.
Yeah, I've
Let
seen
it
it all.
ride.
I've done it all. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Just don't get killed. You know,
Yeah, that's it.
keep yourself alive.
Here you are.
Yeah, I
You
make
everyone
killed
proud.
myself on horses a few times, but yeah. No, my parents raised me to be independent, though. To go back to that, you know, I raised rabbits and sold them to buy the horse. I mean, I had a game plan to get to buying my horse. You know, and my dad used to tell me I was a horrible businesswoman because the kids would come to buy the bunnies, and I would sell them the bunny, but I would give them as much food as what I charged them for the bunny.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
like
wanted
that.
them to be well cared for,
Right.
at least for the first few days.
The one that the money's that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Real
But,
quick
yeah,
before this goes
It
away.
was, I
Sorry.
always, growing up, it was not, I can't do something, is how could I get it done? How could I do that? So,
Good mentality.
yeah. And I think kids are born that way. Greg did that too. Greg had that mentality too.
He still does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, as you get
It served
older,
us
you
well.
tend to think, I can't do that. You start to doubt yourself.
Sure, you
more
put
and more.
limitations on things.
I think some
Yeah.
of that too is the parenting, right? Because I grew up in a household that was a little bit more risk averse, and so I don't have that ingrained in me. My parents were pragmatic. I think is a better a term. It was not necessarily they didn't encourage me to do stuff, but I never was around anyone that was like, "How do I buy a horse?" My mom would be like, "We're not getting a horse."
Sure.
There was like a ceiling
Yeah.
to ideas, and if the idea went above that ceiling, the Elena Scarpino
Well, that was my
we just
parents
swoop it in
too.
and be done.
And I mean, I just went around the back door. I mean, it's the way it all came to fruition was my sister was dating someone whose mother had horses. And she just happens to be a mile and a half from my high school. So I would walk from high school to her farm. And if I took care of her horses, my horse was taken care of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's how it came about. And she helped me pick out this horse. I mean, I bought my first horse for $200.
Yeah.
You know, he was beaten and
Take that, Sears.
and abused, and no one else could touch him. But that's how I got him. She knew what he was. My trainer
Mhm.
knew what he was before this stupid ass girl beat the shit out of him, and then starved him. You know, so she knew if we. In fact, the vet told her when he went out to do the vet check on him that the horse would be dead. Probably wasn't going to live 2 weeks. And she said, that's fine, but at least he'll have a full belly,
Mhm.
and I'll give her $200 back.
She wasn't giving that 200 back.
You were never.
Yeah,
getting that
she
back.
would have.
This is the equivalent to like a guy being like, "It's my dream car," and it's just like a 1974 Firebird that's just smoking. Like, there's no way. Like my buddy in high school had a Mustang. He had like a 1970 Mustang Fastback, and it was always in a constant state of ill repair, where he was just trying to get it. He was trying to get it perfect and cherried out, but he just didn't have the know-how to do it, and it just was falling apart faster than he could keep it up and like restore it. It was pretty sad. But you were the opposite of that. You actually restored the horse.
Yeah, I was very lucky because, like I said, the trainer that I had faith in this horse because she knew what he was prior to what he
The
went through.
abuse. Yeah.
And I mean, like the first time he came to me on December 1st, it was one of those cold, horrible, rainy days. It took them an hour and a half to catch this horse to put him in a horse trailer to bring him to me. And I sat on a water trough with hay and a can of grain from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night when the horse finally came to me. Because I knew if that horse didn't come to me that day, I was never going to be able to touch that horse.
That horse now? Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
Wow.
World
Tobey
renowned.
Maguire.
Yeah.
Actually, one and the same.
Snowman.
Yeah.
Snowman was his name?
Snowman.
That's a dope.
No,
That's
that
a
is
dope.
awesome.
No,
That is
my
a-
horse's real name was, what was it? Piper, Sandpiper.
Still
Well,
bad.
Dude, these are cool
Still
names.
fucking
That's
bad.
Yo, recently there's a
Sorry, I was
mall
thinking
over here
spider.
called
Like,
Tanforan,
Uh-huh.
and it's a horrible mall. But around it, there's a street called Seabiscuit Lane or something, and I was like, "That's weird." I was like, "Tanforan used to be a
Racetrack.
a horse racetrack
Yeah.
thing," and I was like, "I wonder if Seabiscuit ran there." We looked it up. He did.
Wow.
sense.
Seabiscuit, the real horse,
not a place
ran
with Seabiscuit.
not that far from here.
That's cool.
I
He
don't
ran
know.
down that road.
The
They paved it
little
right
celebrity.
behind him.
Huh?
He ran down that road and they paved it right behind him.
There we go.
This will be Seabiscuit Road.
Look at the town that Seabiscuit built.
It is.
There you go.
You can't have a Hooters at Tanforan without.
Where would you
What
be?
the hell would you?
BJ's Brew House if there wasn't a
There it
Seabiscuit.
is, Kev.
Bazooka.
God, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. To drive by Tanfran now and see that that's what he used to look like.
That's
Yeah.
way more beautiful.
And
Yeah,
then it was
yeah.
an internment camp, which is like horrible.
Well,
That's
that's not
unfortunate,
that.
too.
You took it
That
to a
was a
dark
dark
place.
time,
We didn't
right.
need that right
Just
now.
history, y'all.
We'll see if Lewis can bring us back. Lewis says, I have a daughter graduating next week, Jamie Kennedy. How did you handle letting go and letting Greg pursue his dreams? Did you suggest other jobs or did you just let him choose? Thank you.
I let him choose, and I encouraged him to follow whatever his dream was. I raised him. I always joke that I raised him to be independent, and I did too good of a job. Because when he got the chance, he was gone. And I tell
Peace,
parents,
DuPage County.
when your kid goes away to college, your freshman year summer is going to be the last summer they come home. And that's how it was with you.
Yeah.
And I've seen it repeated with people I know time and time again.
That was me too.
Yeah.
I think I came home for that summer, and then
The next summer,
But
it's
the
always, I
next
got
summer, I
an
was like-
internship, I got a job, I got this, I got that. And
yeah. Actually, did I come home? No, I think freshman year.
Nick's never been home.
No, I stayed away because I moved in with my brother in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I had
Yeah.
the futon that turned into a couch.
Is that when you guys slow played the cheese on the
It
counter?
was when I let a whole block of Gouda melt on the counter. My brother was like, "You have got to get your shit together," and I did eventually.
Good.
Yeah.
You know when I got my shit together?
Mm.
Patreon.com/kindafunny. Over on Patreon.com/kindafunny, you can keep the lights and mics on by supporting us. Of course, while you're there, you can get each and every episode of the Kinda Funny podcast ad-free. You can watch us record it live. You can watch us record the other podcast live. Get them a day early. Get them ad-free and have a great time. Of course, you have a bevy of exclusive content each and every month. Greg Ways, Kinda Futies, you name it. The Next Gen podcast. It's all over there for your perusal. However, guess what? You're not on Patreon.com/kindafunny. So here's a word from our sponsor.
Shout out to Shady Rays for sponsoring this episode. Do you want to look as cool as I look? Yes, you do. And you can. You can take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an unbeatable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair that I've ever worn in my life. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. You can wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Exclusively for you listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com and use the code KindaFunny. You can get 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. You can try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Promo code KindaFunny at shadyrays.com.
All right, we're back.
Greg, real quick, before we move on to the next question, I
Whatever
saw
you want.
in the chat.
Whatever you want.
I think it was Melissa Hagler said
Hags.
that speaking
The
of
hags!
odd animals and pets, everybody has a traumatic hamster story.
Sure.
I of course have a traumatic hamster story, but the quick version of this was when we were young. I wasn't really a pet guy. My brother was though.
No, it's my cat.
And my brother got a hamster at some point, and they asked like, "What do you want to name the hamster?" And my brother, in his infinite wisdom, being a 7-8-year-old at this point, was like, I want to name my hamster Yolanda. Yolanda,
Kevin's mom.
Kevin's mom's name, which was all just like, why? Like, why are you gonna name your hamster Yolanda? All right,
It's a great name.
it is a good name, but it's like just bizarre, right? Love this hamster. Had a lot of fun with this hamster. My brother gets appendicitis. He has surgery. Has to go in. It's this whole big thing.
Hamster performs a surgery.
Hamster dies while my brother's getting
Hamster MD
his
doctor.
appendix taken out. Right?
Can I stop you real quick?
Uh-huh.
Appendicitis, always one of those great fears of mine. Is just like you're a kid, quicksand,
Pops.
appendicitis. You know it's gonna happen. What can I get a little? I've never heard that story about Cool Greg that I can remember. Was he just playing on the jungle gym? I was like, oh,
I'm telling you everything I know. I think it just it wasn't like there wasn't an incident.
Okay.
It just I think appendicitis just happens.
well, yeah, but there's like
No, I think
bursts.
he got sick. Remember, he got like a bad fever, and
Yeah.
his side was hurting.
Yeah, but I mean, like there wasn't like an inciting incident.
Well, no, that I
like
know, but
that
I
was,
was looking
like-
more for we're at the playground. He's like, oh, something doesn't feel right.
Oh,
that
But
kind
yeah,
of.
what I was trying to say is, I think he was like, "Oh, I have a fever. I'm sick," and then it was like, "It's weird. My side is hurting really bad." That's I think how like that
Gotcha. Thank you.
got.
Yeah.
Back to it.
Well, then we had to, at some point, I forgot the details of how this happened, but he was then told that after he got back from his successful surgery, I don't even think he got back. It was like while he was in the hospital room for the first surgery of his life, he was told that Yolanda had died,
Oh my God.
which is just really not good.
They're about to put the mask on. The nurse is like, I'm sorry, real quick before you go. Yolanda didn't make it. One, they put the mask on as he drifts off crying.
You're gonna be fine.
Did anyone think of just buying a new hamster?
Oh yeah,
Hamsters are
Oh, yeah.
fucking useless and dumb, and kids are dumb. They want to know. You can
yeah.
just
It was
replace them.
oh,
Getting
man.
that goldfish.
I found
finger.
this thing belly up, like it was like a whole scene, man. But yeah,
Like my
he
parakeet.
stayed in the hospital for I think 3 days.
Yolanda?
And I remember just like he was so disappointed because Tim went and he had a sleepover at my house that weekend, and like I just remember talking to him. He was like, "Yeah, I got this stomach thing, and like my hamster died, and then Tim got to go sleep over at your house."
yeah, it was so upset.
The 1, 2, 3 punch. That was, yeah, that was
What a
the final
different
straw.
time, man.
Do you have a hamster story, Nick?
There's
No, I
Mayor's son's same thing happened.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was on there. Same thing happened when he can't read now. It also happened when he
Oh, okay.
was in the hospital last summer.
Hamster
hamster
died?
died.
Damn.
No, we didn't. We didn't get into the smaller animals like that. We were
Sure.
dogs and cats primarily.
Yeah.
And that was I think once I convinced. Sorry, was I gonna?
it's okay.
So, once I was like, I want a dog. My mom was like, okay, you gotta take care of the dog. And once we got the dog, I was like, I don't want any other pets ever again.
Yeah, this was a mistake.
Because the cats kind of take care of themselves.
Sure.
Dogs like, I have to rely on you for everything. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I am a kid. I don't like this at all. And this year, I just remember like maybe week 4 of picking up the poop. Because of course we couldn't get a small dog. We got a freaking black lab, and they poop a lot.
They're pooping
yeah.
a lot of human size.
I just remember the bucket and the shovel.
Oof.
I remember thinking to myself, I don't ever want to do this to myself ever again. And then my mom got 2 other dogs past that, but I was like, that's on you, Elena. I didn't want those dogs.
I will not help.
I
with
will
this.
take care of the black lab. That was my dog. That was great.
Wow, 3 dogs at your house.
In succession.
Oh, I see. I see.
yeah.
Okay,
We
okay.
would wait
You
until
did
one
your
was,
time.
Yeah, you know, like you'd wait till one was getting a little old, and then you kind of either bring the
Sunset,
new one
dovetail.
in, kind of puppy.
Yeah, I hear you.
But the last dog was Max, and Max was the smallest animal that I think I had, other than a cat, which was a little rat terrier. He was a little dude.
Yeah.
But then he had the thing where it was the hip display shit at the end, where he just walks around one day and you're like, oh, your back legs aren't working anymore. That's weird. It was the whole thing.
Yeah,
really, really
for sure.
sad.
For
But
sure.
you know, no hamsters. Had a friend that had rats. He was really into rats for a while.
Big
That's a
PC
vibe.
gamer, I bet.
Never miss an opportunity.
God,
It's always true.
that was fast.
It's always true.
It's
Yeah.
always true
You
that
know what I mean?
gamers have rats
Yeah.
on the shoulder. And they go,
Yeah.
yeah.
These weirdos.
You
I
think
had
Katie's got a rat that
there,
you're not telling
there
us
was a
about?
fucking guy who used to walk around Mizzou with a snake on him. Like, you fucking PC gamer, get out of here. You know
Of
what I mean?
course,
Nobody
that
wants to
guy
talk
was in
about
the-
Mist right now.
You know why? Because he was in the programming with Python. Yeah, that's the dude right there.
Dude.
That's the little
Good
dude.
looking guy.
Yeah, he was a
Love it.
fun little guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You had a hamster, right? What
I
was it?
did, yeah.
What was it called?
Yeah. When I worked at Petland, remember when I was doing that? So I came home with all it's just why. Came home with all sorts of dumb animals that I shouldn't have come home with. But yeah, I got into hamsters at one point.
It
I was
never
like, "That's
bothered
dumb."
me.
Yeah, I know you didn't care. It was just, but it's a similar thing. You eventually get home, you're like, what the fuck? Why am I
Like,
doing
why do
this?
I have to
Whatever.
deal with this? Yeah.
I remember one time I brought another hamster home, and you were like, are they male and female, or what's the deal? I'm like, no, they're both boys or whatever. And then you came downstairs and I was playing some game. You're like, well, your hamsters are upstairs fucking their brains out. And sure as shit, I brought home a girl. Yeah, and sure as shit, they had babies, and then they ate the babies,
Yep.
and that was like the traumatic
Really?
thing. I'm like, well, yeah,
Hamsters,
yeah.
man.
They eat the
Hamsters
baby.
do that.
Yeah.
You gotta separate them, or they eat them.
You got to separate them, and you got to not bother the mother when she has babies. You put the mother and the baby up there somewhere, and you cover them up and keep it dark until the babies get big enough to fight back.
Whoa.
We did not do that.
Jesus,
I think we
yeah.
left the lights
Hamster-
on.
That's kind of the
Wow.
joke in the horse community too about hamsters. It's always a little girl asking for the pony, and the parents will give you a hamster. It's always say
And
no
then
to
she's
the
confronted
hamster.
with murder
Yeah.
every single day. Just oh my god, that's terrifying.
We did the best we could with it, not the murder part. I forget what happened to the one of them. Then it was down to just the one that we called Ginny. And I only know the name Ginny now because I can't remember what the hamster was for the other one from BYWF and the tapes that have resurfaced on Jason's the YouTube channel, the documentary he's preparing. Where I forgot that we did a whole storyline where Ginny became part of it, and in a blind rage, Camps murdered Ginny, and then they had a Ginny on a pole match for the body so that Jason could bury it. Just good times in BYWF, man. We were
Holy
telling
crap.
story. It wasn't a real body. It wasn't a real
of
body. You know what I mean?
course, of
Okay.
course,
Well,
but yeah.
just your reaction.
Obviously.
Thank you, Kevin.
So cute and so vicious. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Holy
You never would have thought. They
Oh
seem
my
cute.
Story there.
I mean, now my cousins had hamsters.
What's your
Good
traumatic
guy.
story
That's
about it?
really
They
good.
got loose.
Yeah.
One turned cannibal,
Mm-hmm.
and they found them in the heating ducts. One of them eating the other one.
Like an alien.
Jesus.
Sorry, what animals?
Like
Did
an
Hamster.
Hamsters.
I they said moose for some reason. I was just like, wait, what?
Big animal.
That's
That's what I'm talking
It's
about.
like there's fucking. It's like your high school eating ducks. There's antlers coming through. Like, Jesus God, I think they're eating
Very
each other up
strong
there.
ducts.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh man.
Oh, I wanted this one because I haven't talked to you about this ever. Alan writes in. You talked about the BOWF stuff, obviously, and
Yeah.
getting gruff from other parents and stuff for a bunch of teenagers beating the shit out of each other with chairs in front of your house.
Yeah.
Alan says, how does it feel after all these years of Greg watching wrestling and having his own promotion in his backyard that he now works for the biggest wrestling company in the world? His face is all over WWE now, and that's insane. Smiley emoji. You're being
How does it
you're being
feel?
very generous with my face all over it, but I'll take it. Thank you. Yeah, how's it feel?
I have been vindicated.
Yes.
All those fucking mothers
Yep.
that gave me so much shit
Yep.
about this.
Let it loose.
Video
Let it-
games and wrestling. Now
Yeah.
both of them.
Oh,
You're
exactly.
2 for 2 here.
Oh, I know. And then I let him dye his hair. Oh, God,
And
he
now
was
it's
a
great.
devil incarnate.
I need to diet again. Real
Yeah,
bad.
I gotta
Real
get
bad. Yeah.
But yeah,
Dude.
I feel vindicated about it because, and again, I do still remember sitting you down and talking to you about reality versus, TV or video games, about, that wrestling isn't real. I mean, it's real to an extent,
Yeah, yeah.
but you don't want to hurt each other when you're
Mhm.
doing it. And, like you didn't use real cookie trays, you went and got the aluminum ones so they wouldn't hurt as bad. Stuff like that. But I mean, after, like I said, all the shit I got from parents about it, oh, you're the one that lets them wrestle in your backyard. Yeah, I am. You got a problem with that? Guess what? I know where your kids are. And people would say, and my joke was,
That's
oh,
the me in college. This isn't
Yeah.
BYWF for the record. Oh, it's the blue hair. I see why
Yeah.
we're referencing this photo.
Are you wearing a lab coat?
This is the infamous photo that I showed you on like a Game Over Greggy show, and you had the best one of all time where you go, Greg, you weren't letting yourself go. You were gone. It's like one of the top funniest things you've ever said. It's number 2, probably. That's number 2. That's me in an antler tailgate at Mizzou. Yeah, in a lab coat.
but I used to joke. with
No, it was
parents.
perfect.
People would ask me, how many kids do I have? And I used to tell them it depended how many bodies I stepped over in the morning on the way to work,
Yeah.
how many sons I had, because
Sure.
your friends would come and stay.
Yeah.
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And, they knew if they were in trouble, come to our house. If they were in trouble out there, I always tell them, don't do 2 stupid things, call me.
Yeah.
If you've done one stupid thing, that's okay. I'll come and get you. We'll come home and we'll figure out what we have to do from there. But don't do 2 stupid things.
That Mario Rivera writes in to KindaFunny.com/KF podcast, just like you can, and says, what are some of your favorite things about Greg becoming a father and a loving husband?
My favorite things about
Some
it?
of them, yeah. Whatever that question inspires. Oh, I'm sorry to offend you, Nick.
No, I guess.
I figured.
His appreciation for what parents go through.
Sure.
I remember how appreciative he was of being born the day he got home with his son. And to see the gentleness and kindness and patience that he has shown to his own son in watching, in him growing up. I mean, seeing you do that is just amazing to me.
Sure. Yeah. I don't mean to make you cry. Sorry. But yeah, I think that, it's something you don't know. I don't
No.
know. You know what I mean? Like there's the before and the after kind of thing. And so it's that weird thing of trying to I've talked about this on the show, I think, about, when we talked about being a dad, or, when I came back to the show after we had been or whatever, but like how I it's not that I don't like, I guess I don't like the answer, and I'm not judging other people for being like, I can't put it into words. It's incredible, blah, blah. And like, all right, I get it. So, yeah, you made a life. That's pretty cool. But it's not until you do it that you're like, it's not that I'm being coy and saying, it's incredible, I can't put it into words. It's like you
Right.
just legitimately, there aren't words for all the emotions and feelings and the way it unlocks this door to open up of like,
And
oh, this is
considering
happening.
I never thought you were going to have kids,
Sure.
to you having a son, and then to see, and you had no siblings, so you have no frame of reference, and to see what a great father you are.
Yeah.
It just amazes me.
Sure.
And I'll be kind, and I'll
Crushing.
leave it
Killing
there.
it.
I won't say anything.
I love that.
I don't know what that means.
I
I don't know what that
love
means,
it.
but I'll leave it there too.
We're
That's fine.
talking about your frame of reference.
Okay. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Madeline says, "Hi, Jamie Kennedy. I hope you are having a great day and happy belated Mother's Day. What is a trait of yours that you think Greg inherited from you? What trait would you most like to see Greg pass down to Ben?" Yeah, I appreciate this because I was afraid. Oh, Mom's been on a lot of stuff. We've talked to Mom. We've had questions, but now there's new questions.
New questions. New frame of
I
mind.
think the trait that you inherited from me is your independence and your perseverance. You
Well, yeah, you talking about selling bunnies is very similar to me selling
Yeah.
the Greg's Gazette or the comic
Right,
books I was making. So, yeah.
exactly. You saw what you wanted, you saw how to get to it, and you forged yourself ahead. That was very much like what I remember doing as a kid. It's again, like I said, you had the same mindset I had, not I can't do this, but how can I get this? How can I accomplish this? How can I get it done? What was the other half of it? That's a trait I think you inherited from me.
The trait that you
What,
want.
yeah,
him
what do
to
you
pass
want me to
down
pass to Ben? Besides strength.
Yeah.
Look at that, Kevin. You know what I mean? The problem is, like, it's the thing where Paris Lily has to work out. Like, Paris will Lily have to actively go to a gym to get this.
Yeah.
Blessing, look, it never could get this.
Never.
You know what I mean?
Impossible.
Andy Cortez, you're dreaming.
Dreaming big.
I just have it.
Maybe
Imagine if I
before-
tried. Nick, you ever think about that? Imagine if I actually did say, you know what? Chicken breast and whatever else The Rock eats every day, and I'm going to go do that and work out a bunch. Fran, do your business. What's going to happen to me?
I mean, it's definitely something I thought of way too much, if I'm being 100% honest. The wasted opportunity that is your body.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it because there's potential there. You know what I mean?
Oh, you have tremendous potential. It's shocking to me. Like, if you could probably pack on, well, you could carve off, you could pack on probably 30, 40 pounds of muscle and just look excellent. You have that physique. You have that
Thank you.
frame for that.
Thank you.
And you just choose absolutely not to. And the heaviest thing you're lifting is either your son or a switch lately.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just not that I don't have all the opportunities to look great too, and I waste those 100%.
No, not 100%, just 90%.
95%.
Like, there's been 2 times now that we're driving to lunch and you're like, oh, let's get bagels. Let's go to the House of Bagels and get bagels. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get bagels. And you're like, no, we can't get bagels today. Can't get bagels today. And we have not yet gotten bagels.
because I'm letting it go. I've let it go. As Greg, alluded to earlier. I've let it go a little bit as he let it go in that blue-haired picture. I got
I
to
was
pull it.
gone.
And here's how I knew it was time to pull it back a little bit. The studio launch, the pandemic, all these things, all these wonderful and horrible things that have happened. I packed on probably 20 pounds.
No.
And I'm like, yeah,
Really?
I hide it, but it's there.
That's why the hoodies are out. That's why this is awesome. Hoodies been busted out.
Thank God the 90s are back. Thank God that's like everything's oversized clothing now. Because if you had to live in like the early 2000s, the bootcut jean era with all the really slim Ben Sherman shirts, you probably don't remember that because you weren't born yet. I would be fucked. But here's what happened the other day. We went to my buddy's wife's 40th birthday party. It was cocktail attire, and to me, cocktail attire means like get the suit out, dress nice. You don't have not necessarily a tie, but a nice shirt, look good. Great. I got 2 suits. One was my wedding suit. Love it. It's a blue suit, one of my favorite suits that I have. A little threadbare, but whatever. Pull it out, put on the jacket, and then it starts to sink in the oh no feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. If the jacket's this tight, how tight are the pants going to be? And Tim narrowly got those things closed.
Okay. You got
To the
on
point where it was like,
I'm not gonna
you
sit
ever
at
see
this
someone,
wedding.
like one of your friends that starts bodybuilding and the thighs are maxing out the pants? It looked like that, but I don't bodybuild. It was bad. So now I got a friend's wedding coming up in July, and I'm thinking I don't want to buy another suit. I just refuse to. So I've got to get.
We're all going to the same wedding.
I've
Yeah,
gotta
that's
get
gonna be
that.
great.
Yeah, but one of us is going to be in jeans if I don't fucking figure this out.
You got enough time. You'll be fine.
I got a month. I gotta just. You know what it is? It's this place. There's the stress coming in off the studio launch. All that stuff was a lot of work, And then what happened was, I think around a month or two ago, it started to settle just enough for me to remember how much fun it is to do this job.
Yeah.
And then I started celebrating where I'm like Kevin caught me the other day. I was just housing some of those Tostitos scoops that miraculously just keep coming back into the office. I'm doing my best to kill them.
You keep
But I was just,
ordering them.
I didn't order them. I don't know where they're
No?
coming from. I just find a new bag in there every single time. It's like the room requirement or whatever it is from Harry Potter. I just open it up. I was like, God, I wish there was Tostitos in here. And I open it up again and they're there. But yeah, so I gotta cut that out a little bit. But you pissed me off because you could be jacked out of your gourd and you just choose not. You got the height and the frame for it.
It's back to the passion thing. I'm not passionate about it. You know what I mean?
But you used to run.
Yeah.
And you used to bike with that dumb helmet.
I like it's an Evil Knievel helmet.
I know.
It's not
that's the-
dumb. I'll have you know. All right, it's pretty
It could be
cool.
both. It could be
First
both.
off, no,
Just cat.
can't be. What I want is that Spider-Man helmet, and we got to live the dream and buy Ben that Spider-Man helmet. That's the one with the eyes on it on the top, and just the red and black. I was
Cool.
dope. With that.
That's the thing about having the kid.
Yeah.
Right. And I always say, if someone's gonna hand me a kid that's like maybe 7 years old, 8 years old, already trained.
Sure.
I'll take it. Don't care, boy, girl, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Sure.
Right. But specifically the boy, you get to get him all the cool stuff that you want that you can't justify buying for yourself because it's too small. Only fits a kid.
Oh, you mean like
That's the
like
direction
clothing
we're
or
going.
whatever, or something like
Just
that,
all
or
of them.
whatever.
And like
Yeah.
first off, the thing that's always the cutest to me is like, I don't know if Ben has a pair yet, but the little baby Crocs. You got to get them.
We haven't got them.
They're the cutest thing ever. It's a waste of money, obviously, because the kid's feet grow.
Oh, I mean,
exponentially every
we
freaking day.
buy all manner of shoes, and he outgrows them all very quickly.
The squeaker shoes are my favorite thing that's ever.
Mom hates them.
I
I love them.
love them.
I love them.
Did you remember the squeaker shoes?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
too much. They're too
They're
much.
perfect.
Kevin's on
I
mom's
don't
side.
know.
Okay.
I'm with you, Kevin.
I'm with you too.
I mean, I only had
You
to
can
be
turn
around
them off
for
when
like
you want
30
to.
minutes.
You can turn
Yeah.
them off when you want to.
It's my little butt.
But they're a
Oh
big.
yeah,
the option
you
to
turn
turn
him
it
off,
off?
and then he sits down and he goes, "Broken, broken."
He's like heartbroken. You got to turn
Yeah,
it back
you
on.
got to turn him back on.
See what he's gonna-
Broken.
I mean, he picks them. You know what I mean? He's got a brand
Yeah.
new pair of like multicolor shoes, so it's a choice every day. And he goes dog because it's the dog.
But is it fun for you to be like, we're just gonna shower the kid with creativity?
Oh, 100
Because all
percent.
these things, like remember us growing up, if something resembled a comic book
Yeah.
character,
Oh yeah.
we had to buy even if it was off-brand knockoff crap. And now it's like aisles and aisles and aisles of Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
You go to Target, you're like, this is just
Well,
a Target
anything.
for
You can get
Spider-Man.
anything branded anything.
Yeah, it's
now.
so cool.
Yeah, no,
so
I'm,
cool.
I'm amazing. I can't wait for that. That was always the biggest thing for us of like
Yeah.
finding a Ghostbusters thing or a Superman thing when I was growing up. But now the fact that it's everywhere and ubiquitous and it's popular and it is pop culture. Like I'm stoked for that, and hopefully he likes all that, right, and gets into it.
My thing was like you were talking about helmets.
Yeah.
I love how they try to make helmets cool for these kids because it's good. These kids need helmets. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm saying this now as an adult.
Tim,
you
you
can
need
look
a helmet
back
too?
and be like, I should have been wearing a helmet.
Wait.
I was gonna say something. Oh, there you go. We caught up.
There it
I
goes.
was like,
So
something
sorry.
happened there. We were freeze frame for a sec.
Sorry.
Was the
So,
audio still going?
I believe everything still was recording fine.
Okay.
But there might be a momentary skip there.
All right, chat. We'll figure it out.
I don't think I've said a single thing on the Kind of Funny podcast in 3 months without something interrupting me. just an observation, not mad, neither. Just an observation. You can go back and then check
Good
that
helmet.
out. But
It's a good helmet.
Something about these helmets with the kids, where it's like it's good that like it's dangerous. They're always jumping off stuff and like
Yep.
setting up sweet jumps and many jumps, forms
Yeah.
of jumps, right? But in the 90s, they cracked the code. Back when we were little kids with the Ninja Turtle helmets. I don't know if this is probably past your guys' time.
Yeah.
But there was this lime green helmet that was all the rage. Every kid wanted it, and it would come with 4 separate bandanas that you got to change what color you want. So, of
Badass.
course, me, my brother, and Kevin cruising the streets as the Ninja Turtles. But, like, those things, they were like the hot ticket item for, like, Christmas and stuff. These kids wanted helmets.
That's great.
Yeah.
Throw some Ninja Turtles on that. Boom. That's what
Yeah.
they want.
What did Kevin have to be? What'd you make Kevin be?
Kevin Donatello.
I
His
absolutely
machines.
wanted to be Donatello.
Oh, you wanted to be Donatello?
Yeah, because he makes machines.
He does
Telling.
machines.
Yeah.
Telling.
Very telling.
I hope you guys know that every time I worked at a saddle shop before I retired, and we sold, of course, riding boots. And one of our top selling boots was Donatello boots. And every time I see it, that's all I kept thinking was Ninja Turtle.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
That's great, man. Shout out to Donatello.
Shout out to Donatello.
Mhm.
That new movie looks fun.
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. It's like
What do
a month and a half away.
I think of Donatello Versace. Is that who it is? Who's the fashion icon
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
still alive?
Is it Donatello though?
No, I don't know.
Donatella.
Donatella.
Yeah, okay.
But is it Versace? I might be thinking.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds
It
right.
is Versace.
Yeah.
You're king of fashion. You would know.
Yeah, I'm not king of like high fashion when it comes to that
Oh, you're
stuff.
talking
Like those
about-
people are just in a different world. Ooh, those are some
Kevin's
nice
killing it
boots.
with the B-roll
Those
today.
are the
You know what I
boots.
mean?
Donatello boots
Mhm.
for the Ninja Turtle and you.
Do they come in lime green with
That's what we need.
interchangeable laces?
I'll tell you what, man. Tim, a long time ago, you were like, I like Instagram targeted ads.
Mhm.
And I, for whatever reason, I'm getting into boots lately.
Boots
So, you know, I
and
got the Red
gold.
Wing boots. I might
Yeah.
be getting into some other boots. And man, they got me.
Yeah.
I click on every single one of the boots now. And now if I start getting riding boots, don't be surprised.
Riding boots.
Don't
that's
be
hilarious.
surprised if I come in next
I
week.
want to get a pair of really nice boots, but like I see people in the wild, I'm like, those are really nice boots. And then I try to find them online. I can't find
What kind
those
of boot are we
boots.
talking? Like a combat boot, hiking boot,
no, not
cowboy
a combat,
boot,
like more sleek and
Chelsea boot? You want a Chelsea
Like, see,
boot?
I don't know.
Go
You
to
throw 'em around.
Ariat.
This is a what?
Ariat.
Ariat.
A-R-I-A-T.
Is a place?
It's a boot
an ideal.
manufacturer.
Yeah, it's a people.
Do
Yeah,
They
I don't know.
make boots
I'll
and
keep you
clothes
updated
now.
on it.
yeah, so like not like a cowboy boot.
No.
Cowboy boots are dope, but I can't remember.
See, that's what I
Cowboy.
can't envision you
No,
in a
no,
boot.
no.
I'm trying to envision the boot you're talking about.
Imagine me in my leather jacket and all that stuff.
Get
like,
the car's boots
You want
right
like
there.
not an Argyle boot.
Remember like the chukka boots?
You want
I want like a
chukka boot?
nice ass
desert,
chukka boot.
yeah, desert boot. Yeah,
Yeah.
they sell those.
Yeah, Ariat has more than cowboy and riding boots, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
lot
I
more.
need a new pair of chukka boots too. That's might be the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn in my life.
Which
'Cause
shoe?
it's just they call it, well, it's either desert boot or they call it a chukka boot as
Okay.
well. It's basically like the small, about ankle length, 4 laces, very simple design, like suede boot. It's like what you'd think of if you would wear like, I don't want to say a hippie boot, but like kind of that ilk, of that era. Yeah, that's it right there. So,
Oh,
but I used to wear
wow,
some
so-
from J. Crew, just to sell a really good chukka boot. It was like
I
really
remember
soft.
when
It
those were
was-
popular when I was a teenager.
that style's been around for a
Yeah.
long time.
And
And I
they're
remember
back.
I used to wear this all the time.
Awesome. Mom, thanks for coming back to the Kind of Funny podcast.
My pleasure.
Thanks for visiting. We're excited to stream with you tomorrow. Mike said, what should we play? And I was like, well, what about Zelda? And he's like, well, what about other things? And I was like, all right, well, Mom likes horses. If you can find me a good horse betting game. And he's like, GTA Online. We'll go bet on horses at the racetrack at GTA Online.
okay.
I said, yeah, let's go do that.
Zelda has horses. I'm trying to
I
tell
know.
you. It's real hard.
Mom was watching. Mom's seen a lot of
hard.
Zelda. She's seen me up there riding around on Genevieve, my horse, from the first game. Cool thing that it
Christ.
carries over. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Cool thing. I named my other horse Kevin.
No.
I can ride you all night long, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, each coming to talk to each other about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to talk with us, you can write in for free at kindoffunny.com/KF podcast. And then, of course, go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can watch us record the show live. You can get it ad free. You can get dozens and dozens of bonus episodes each and every month and all manner of things. Right? You can also go to youtube.com/kindoffunny. Podcast services. Of course, you get the ads there. You want to be directly supporting us, but whatever you got to do, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share, all that business. And until next time, no, it's been our pleasure to serve.
Before you go,
Oh!
Anthony Corbin, thank you. He just said Tim seems like a Thursday boots type of guy.
Oh,
I
Thursday
just
boots are
Googled
great.
Thursday boots. This is exactly the type of boot that I've been trying to figure out what it
I
is.
get
There you
asked those
go.
all the time.
Nailed it.
I'm going to get him. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.